Hey, what's the word, YouTube? It's your boy, Coach TDOT. And I'm back with another reaction video for y'all today, Chad. So we're going to get right into it. Today, we're going to be reacting to the best Larry Bird and Michael Jordan story ever told, man. All right, so without further ado, finna get right into this thing. Let's get it going.
NBA Hall of Famer James Worthy, who played against both Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, said, "I'd much rather play against Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. Jordan made you look slow, but Bird made you look stupid." Look, I'm not here to convince you that Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan. I'll just present to you the facts and let the NBA legends who actually played against both of them tell you what they think.
People always ask me who's the hardest player I've ever had to guard. And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late, great Mike Mitchell. I mean, so many players. I always say Larry Bird. And I say this for the reason because when Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he sit off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous. He was either setting a pick, coming off a pick, catching the ball, passing the ball. So he was the one you always had to stay attentive to the whole 24 seconds of that offensive play for the Celtics. And you know what? Oh, he's going to get an offensive rebound. He was going to do something to help his team have the best chance of scoring at that point. So I always say as him, he didn't need the basketball to affect the game.
To the untrained eye, Michael Jordan was light years better than Larry Bird simply because his scoring numbers were better. But in actuality, it was much closer than that because Bird affected the game in so many ways.
I saw Larry Bird one night in Phoenix. They were losing big time at the half. And they come out in the third quarter, and Larry did not take a shot, but dominated the game. He had 7 assists in the third quarter, and they came back and won the game. He could affect the game without taking a shot. Who else can you say that about to that degree? Nobody. Michael could never do that. Never. Michael had to have the ball.
Yeah.
Here's a 1986 magazine on the NBA. And remember, this is a league with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, and Dr. J. And in a league with all of these all-time great players, everyone agreed that Larry Bird was the best. Because in 1984, 1985, and 1986, Larry Bird won MVP back to back to back. And in the 1986 playoffs, Larry Bird finally faced Michael Jordan head to head. And in game 1, Michael dropped a spectacular 49 points. But Larry Bird had an all-around game with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory. By game 2, MJ had a revelation.
And this is game 2.
They had 63 of them things, man.
And the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row over the Bulls.
It was getting it going over there.
Play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man could beat the Boston Celtics. I don't think one man could beat the Boston Celtics.
But he sure did try. Because Jordan turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in the playoff.
Hey, if y'all ain't watched my video, I reacted to this game like last week or 2 weeks ago, man. Go check that video out, man. Michael's getting it going on their ass.
Game.
Lead in the first half
this
of
my
the game
favorite
against
move.
the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it.
It's Mike!
But Bird played pretty well defensively.
Stop playing!
I know we started Dennis Johnson out on him,
See
and
that
then
shit
we went
one
with
more time.
Danny Ainge,
Fuck!
myself. With
Let me see that shit one more time, man. That shit
The game
look
against
good.
the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but
Stop playing with my
pretty well
Jordan.
defensively
Michael
against
Jordan.
Jordan.
Crazy
we
on
started
that.
Dennis Johnson out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, with then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Jordan hits it, 56 for Jordan, and that ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader. Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
But it was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
But Larry Bird left with the most important statistic of all, the W.
10 on the clock. Bird, pick and roll Parrott.
Damn, Mike.
Victory for the Boston Celtics to take a 2-0 lead over Chicago in their best of 5.
Michael Jordan didn't beat Larry Bird. You showed Michael Jordan going between his legs one time in the highlights, against Larry Bird. And that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird. Yes.
But if memory serves me correct, they got swept. No, not lost. They got
Oh my gosh. Why is Isaiah Thomas on here even talking about Michael Jordan, G? Isaiah, you beat him. Okay, move on. And then you got this nigga coward ass Stephen A. Smith right here, and y'all both just hating on Mike. Y'all just hating on that nigga, G. Fuck is y'all even discussing Mike for? Y'all grown as hell.
swept. Okay.
And laughing because he got swept.
He dropped 63. We stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
Larry Bird went on to win his third championship that year. And the following year, when Larry faced MJ in the playoffs, it happened again.
Inside, Larry Bird against Banks, rubs him around a Perry screen, drives it down the lane, and lays it in with a right hand. Michael Jordan with 30 points in this game, so he was 30 or better in all three playoff games. Bird's got 31 in the game and 14 in the fourth quarter. Bullseye. Boston has kept it in good hands in the fourth quarter. It's been Bird, and that's about it. Final score in Chicago Stadium. The Boston Celtics sweep the Bulls out 105-94. Too much Celtic talent, too much Celtic experience for a Bulls team lacking in both areas.
Yes, Larry Bird in back-to-back years swept Michael Jordan in the playoffs. So if Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird, then what does that make Larry Bird? Now, to be fair, at that point, Michael Jordan didn't have his best teammate ever, Scottie Pippen, yet. When Scottie Pippen arrived, the battles were closer and more intense. And later in the video, I'll let you see exactly what happened when Larry Bird faced a prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Because Larry Bird did something so miraculously impressive, no other man in the history of basketball can say they've done. But after Bird swept Jordan back-to-back years in the playoffs, that very next year in 1988, Michael Jordan had statistically the best season ever, where he won the scoring title at 35 points per game, the steals title, the MVP, the defensive player of the year, the all-star game MVP, and the
Damn! This nigga Michael's on another level, folks. This is why y'all can't argue with me about this nigga being the GOAT. Nigga had the best season in NBA history in 1 year. Like, y'all not understanding. He had the best season overall in NBA history. Like, every nigga had every award, MVP, scoring title, all-star game MVP, defensive player, he's still there, dog. Man, y'all better stop playing with my shorty, G. Give him his fucking credit. I don't care about nothing else.
Test.
It's Mike.
He faced Larry Bird 4 times that year, and this is how it went. Game 1, tough battle. Bird wins. Game 2, MJ has a historic 50-point game.
Bust his
to win by
ass.
10. Game 3, Larry's revenge. After that previous loss, I'm sure Larry Bird had that rematch circled on his calendar, because he ended up with 33, 8, and 7 and blew MJ out by 30 points.
Damn.
Game 4, MJ had an impressive performance with 39 points and 8 assists. but Larry Legend had 44 points and 10 rebounds, but most importantly, a win versus Michael Jordan in his statistically best season ever. And though Michael Jordan didn't face Bird again that year in the playoffs, Jordan did face Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. And I'll let Isaiah Thomas tell you exactly how he recalls that year and the rest of the 80s.
So Michael Jordan in the 80s, the best year that he had was he was the MVP of the league and the defensive player of the year. I believe that was in 88.
Yes.
We
88.
beat them 4-1.
Oh my gosh, bruh. Isaiah. My boy. Can you get over yourself, G? Like, for real, can you just get over yourself, folks? The nigga had the best statistical season ever. And you want to negate all of that and just dismiss all of that just to say y'all beat them 4-1 in the playoffs, G? Niggas is real, bro. Niggas is real, what's the word, folks? It ain't narcissist, but it's another word for it, G. But Zeke, you got that shit. Whatever that shit, the word I'm thinking about, you have that, G. Sociopath. I think that's what it's called. A sociopath. That's what he is, G.
I'm going to say that again. 4-1. They won one game. And he never beat Larry Bird. He never beat Magic and Kareem.
Okay, so what?
He never won. And all I'm saying is in the 80s, what I remember in the 80s, it was Philadelphia with Dr. J, Magic, Kareem.
All of these teams he naming.
Michael Jordan. He was a non-factor.
Nigga, shut up. Shut up. Nah, he was a non-factor now, folks. So you telling me Michael Jordan was a non-factor in the 80s, folks? And even if he was, let's just say he was a non-factor, chat. Nigga, all the niggas you just named had fucking super teams back then. Like you said, the Sixers, raw as hell. Dr. J, Moses Malone. Who else? The Lakers, Kareem and Magic, Celtics, the fucking Larry Bird and Kevin McHale. Y'all, like, come on, G. Can we like level this conversation out? Like, Stephen A, you supposed to like make that a point in this shit. Oh, but I forgot. Your ass scared.
A non-factor. Is this your GOAT?
Dick right.
But after Isaiah Thomas swept MJ, he did go on to beat Larry Bird in 6 games. And many people touted the Detroit defense for holding Larry Bird to under 20 points per game. But what many don't include in that story is that Larry Bird was noticeably injured with painful bone spurs in both feet. So only because of injuries, for the first time in 5 seasons, Larry Bird would not make the NBA Finals.
Oh, now we make it.
Starting the following year, Larry Bird had season-ending surgery on both feet after playing only 6 games. But sadly, it only got worse, because that following offseason, Larry Bird broke his back.
Damn.
And was never the same again. But even as Larry Bird's entire body betrayed him, for some reason, he always played well against Michael Jordan. Almost like he had a personal vendetta against Jordan. And I think I know why. When Michael Jordan was in college, he actually played an exhibition game against Larry Bird. Jordan and a bunch of college players, while preparing for the 1984 Olympics, faced Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA stars. The goal was to toughen the college kids up before they headed to the Olympics. So during pre-game warm-ups, when Jordan chased the loose ball to the other end of the court, Larry Bird picked the ball up. But instead of handing it to Jordan, Bird kicked the ball over Jordan's head to the opposite end of the court.
Damn.
And I guess you could say, Michael Jordan took that personally.
Now look at Mosh. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Michael Jordan dominated that game.
That clip wasn't even funny.
A young Michael Jordan actually carried a team full of college players past a prime Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA players. Michael Jordan won the battle.
Damn.
But Larry Bird won the war. I think Larry Bird took that loss personally because Jordan never really got the best of Larry Bird ever again. When Larry Bird finally returned to the court after missing basically an entire season with foot surgery and a back injury, he faced prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in a regular season game. The teams went back and forth.
Bagley against Paxson, telling the shot clock. Jordan on Bird. Quick feed into Jim Paxson for the layup. Larry Bird and Kale to read. Jordan! Scottie Pippen ahead to Jordan. Michael for the dunk. Bird against Pippen. Bird working on Pippen one-on-one. Hits the fadeaway.
And with 10 seconds to go, it was a tie game. The Celtics had the ball, and the Bulls put their two best defenders, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, both on Larry Bird because everyone knows who the ball is going to. And then this happened.
Let's see if they wind it all the way down. Inside third low. You can't double yet. Now you can quickly. Bird's jumper. Good.
Wow. They sent the double and everything.
Seconds left. Larry Bird gives the Boston Celtics a 2-point lead.
Sent the double and everything. He still netted their ass. Come
Michael
here.
came over to help out. Celtics lead with 3.6 seconds here. 102 to 100.
A game-winning shot while being double-teamed by both Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, two of the best defenders of all time. Somehow the word clutch doesn't even begin to describe the greatness of Larry Bird when the game was on the line. But maybe a quote from NBA Hall of Fame coach, executive, and former player Pat Riley can explain. In an interview, when comparing Larry Bird and Michael Jordan's clutchness, Pat Riley said this iconic quote: "If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, I'd choose Michael Jordan. If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save my life, I'd take Larry Bird."
That shit makes no fucking sense at all. I think I saw this in a video yesterday. That shit makes no sense. So you would for game winning, you would give it to Mike, but for your life, you would give it to Larry. Make that make sense. Why wouldn't you pick the same nigga for both? I mean, I guess you're putting that much more importance on your life. So I'm guessing he's saying like Larry's the better shooter or better like clutch player. So he go still, G. Shit don't make sense. Why would you just pick Larry for both? Niggas just be trying to sound so philosophical behind the quote, G. That shit made no sense though, folks. If you really think about it, G, that don't make sense.
Larry Bird was on his last legs and Michael Jordan was starting his dynasty in 1991. Larry Bird mustered up enough strength to battle MJ again in one of the last great duels between the two.
Gamble came up with the steal.
Here's Bird. Yes. He was met on a switch by Jordan, and there 69, Chicago 67. Jordan eluding a triple team. Reggie Lewis. Larry Bird.
This battle between two all-time greats came down to the wire. In overtime, it was a tie game with 0.4 seconds on the clock, and the Chicago Bulls had the ball.
Pippen now will look to throw in. 0.4 of a second. And here it is, Jordan with the play. Yes! But it's waved off. Will not count. Mike Mathis said no. Did not beat the clock.
Ooh, he almost had it. After Jordan's possible game winner was waved off, Larry Bird, on 4 straight possessions in double overtime, did this.
Jordan. It's great to hear all these coaches talk about they're really concerned as Bird hits a little fadeaway. They're really concerned about the minutes building up. They want to be fresh going into the playoffs until the game.
Overtime number 2. Bird, yes.
Larry Bird just reacted to this shit too, Chad.
And the second overtime. Bird with the fake through the foul and hits.
Horace Grant is terrible.
45 to go in the second overtime. Bird fires, yes.
Don't even know who to guard. This nigga had torture. Why the fuck
The
Scotty
crowd
not
couldn't
guarding
help
him?
but chant the name of the greatest player of all time.
Shook his head and said, this guy's too much.
And the chant of Larry. D. Brown beat John Paxson off the pitch. And the second overtime, and that will do it. The Boston Celtics in double overtime and defeated the Chicago Bulls 135 to 132 in a wild one.
The Celtics held on to win that game, but that year, Michael Jordan won his first championship versus Magic Johnson in the finals, and his dynasty had officially begun.
Larry and I were talking, and Michael walks in, and he says, "There's a new sheriff in town." And we both hit each other like, well, he's not lying.
Yeah, he took y'all
Larry
shit.
Bird retired after that next season, but not before he took the court with Michael Jordan one last time. Except this time, it would be on the same team in what many would call the greatest team ever assembled, the 1992 Dream Team.
USA team is some of the best
Perez
teams.
may have realized that may be his best opportunity to get an open look in transition.
Magic with the pass that misfired. Jordan with the behind the back save. Here's Bird.
First things out there going crazy like this. This nigga Mike just threw a behind the back pass. Larry caught that thing.
Great save by Michael
Right
Jordan.
in the money and
Glad to hear that you're retiring. Thank goodness. I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing your face. Well, a lot of sad memories to me, but I enjoyed you tremendously. I wish you a lot of luck, and I think you had a very wonderful career, even though you probably ruined a lot of my successful games against the Boston Celtics. And I see you somewhere along the road, somewhere playing golf.
Even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
I'm so sorry.
Rachel! Everyone wants to know, what's your secret for yet an...
Man, this nigga Robert Parrish, folk. If you don't hop, man, nigga, hey, we gonna settle this right now, once and for all, G. If a nigga give you 63 points, G, I don't ever hear your ass get on an interview podcast talking about we put our foot in his ass. Nigga, was you watching the same game that we was, my nigga? This nigga was out there torching y'all ass, man. 63 good buckets on y'all ass. Get to the Baja, all that shit, hitting Larry with that shit, man. And this nigga on here talking about we put our foot in, man. Shut that shit up, man. Nobody want to hear all of that, man. Mike was out there torching y'all ass. Like I said, kids, if any nigga ever give you 40 plus, he bust y'all ass, G. I don't care. You can't say nothing about him. I don't care if he won, lost. He gave your ass 40 points. 40, 50, 60, like, it don't matter. I said 40 plus. If he give you 40 plus, he destroyed y'all whole defense. Nobody had an answer for him. Period. Now, his team may have not made up for the lack of, but he did his job, nigga. He gave y'all 63. That's all we needed from Mike. His team was supposed to handle the rest, but they didn't. But nigga, you can't come on 50 years later talking about we put our foot in their ass. Where was that energy when he was busting your ass, Robert? Huh? Motherfuckers just be on here yapping, man. Old heads, man. Tired of y'all. Tired of y'all capping. Just talking and shit, man. Alright, but this the end of the video, chats. Alright? Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. It's your boy, Coach TDOT, man. I'm up out of here. I love y'all.